And hello, good evening, good morning, guys. Today we are here with Tommy Castellano. I told Tommy that he has like a mafia last name.
The last
Was
time
there
we were
like
together.
someone in mafia like with Castellano last name?
Yeah, and I told you when I was little, anybody tried to mess with me, I just told them that was my uncle,
What was the name of the guy?
Castellano.
Paul Yeah. What he was? That was like what Lucky Luciano days or like what
I
period of the
like with the Gambino family,
Gambino?
Gotti, and all those, like in the city, right around that same time frame.
Jeez,
My
scary.
one of my wife's friends lives in the old Paul Castellano house on Staten Island.
Really?
Beautiful mansion. It's on sale right now for $16 million.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous house. They like bought the property next door and like knocked down the house to build like a garden.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Stayed in Island, you said?
Staten Island, yeah.
So it's
One.
like this is where the ferry goes, right?
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Man, this is crazy.
Yeah, wild time.
It's like Gatsby kind of like level of like mansions,
Yeah.
right?
I've never been in it. I've never been in it. But we've driven by it, and it's another level of house.
Man, thank you so much for joining me today, guys. So yeah, just let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. So today I'm here with Tommy Castellano. Tommy was kind enough to join me today. Today we'll talk how to make your first 100K with ecom, and Tommy's our client in Brand Builders Academy program. He's got to $1,000 a day with his store, and he's here to pretty much, I'll be asking you some questions. I'll be trying to, kind of like reverse engineer like what is required, what it takes, right? What are the major obstacles people have to avoid to make the first, success in e-commerce, because it's easier to build something once you have momentum. It's easier to build something once you have some success. But the question is how to get that first, breakthrough, that first like success that you can build from. So that's what I'm here for. And Tommy, thank you so much for joining me.
No problem. Pleasure.
Oh man. So yeah, maybe some people watched our interview on YouTube. So I interviewed you last week, I guess, or the week before, and you shared some of your journey. So maybe if you can, like in a nutshell, like share kind of like your story and how you got into e-commerce.
Yeah. Yeah, so kind of a quick recap from the longer version that we spoke about on the interview and from YouTube. And basically, was a career guy, 9 to 5 guy, had a long career with a major power tool company, was a sales rep, loved it, had no interest in quitting or leaving, and always wanted to do something on the side. So I wasn't the best employee I could have been, probably is the way I put it. So when they started doing layoffs, I was unfortunately let go, and that was almost a year ago. That was December of 2022, and when I started interviewing for sales jobs, I was just like, I cannot do this again. I don't want to go into a career again and kind of make money for somebody else. I always have wanted to make money for myself. And so I decided that I was going to use my savings to kind of pay the bills and survive for the next 6 months to a year, and jump into e-commerce. And that's kind of we spoke about. I found a program, didn't work out for like a month, but realistically the journey started with the Brand Builders Academy and the BBA program that you have so graciously put together, and is absolutely amazing, with all the content and the coaches. I mean, it ever since 2 months ago, where I found my first winning product and started doing $1,000 a day, and consistently over $600-700 a day, hit my first few $1,000 days, and now consistently there. It's been awesome because the coaches have been so excited for me that it's pretty cool to see that, you know, you guys truly care. It's not like you guys are not just doing this to make a quick buck. You could do that with your websites and your e-commerce stuff. This is to help people, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. I mean, it's, you know, at the end of the day, it's you like actually executing, actually doing like everything on your side to make it work. So shout out to you to you
Yeah.
first of all. Um, so I guess like the kind of, I mean, there's so many like, I mean, let's say you're transitioning from 9 to 5, right? There's so many fears, there's so many like limiting beliefs, right? Like to start a business. Did you start a business before you like, or did you try at least to start a business while you were like at 9 to 5? Like, did you try to do that like kind of like simultaneously on the side?
Yeah, so I always tried side hustles, and I had like that shiny entrepreneur syndrome where it was like whatever, literally whatever you could think of that was like the hot thing in the algorithm on Facebook or Instagram, I tried. And you know, penny stocking, like the click funnels, like just literally promoting click funnels, not even launching my own funnel, like trying to promote click funnels. You know, a bunch of stuff. I actually opened up a retail store, like a gym. I literally opened up a gym, but unfortunately that was just terrible timing, because it was 6 months before COVID. So September of 2019 got shut down basically in March of 2020. Tried to make it work for a couple years and just ended up selling it. So I've had a bunch of failed endeavors, and basically the main thing that was holding me back was having that 9 to 5 job. And I can say that
Mm.
now, looking back, I never thought that that was the case. But it was definitely a huge transition going from 9 to 5 to working 100% by yourself, not collecting a paycheck for months. But you know, the biggest thing was learning how to manage my time, and I am still trying to learn how to manage my time, because right now I am the only person on payroll. I'm the only person responsible for literally everything within my e-commerce business. And I hope to change that soon with bringing on a couple people that to help me out with some of the miscellaneous stuff. But right now, it's literally all me, and trying to figure out how to manage your time, I think, has been the biggest struggle for me. But it's been good. It's, you know, it's, you're working for yourself. You're a lot more motivated. I work more hours, I guess, in the day, I would say, now than I did with my 9 to 5, but it's all fun, you know, scrolling through TikTok or Instagram or creating different, content and stuff like that is, you know, now considered work. But again, it's fun, it's exciting, and even, you know, just jumping on calls with you or with the coaches, you know, it's all stuff where I never ever in the last, 10 months have woken up and been like, crap, I don't want to go to work today. Which I did a lot in the last 10 years.
Man, this is, I think this is so important, like to do something that's like aligned with, because like if you don't do it right, like, and there's a lot of people that I think do things in life that are not really like aligned with what they want to do, right? And that just leads to frustration. And over time, like let's say that frustration builds up and people aren't happy. I remember, you know, when I was working like 9 to 5, like I would go to like Instagram, by the way, like some we're here streaming on Instagram too. So I would go to like in a metro, like back in that was back in Poland in Warsaw, and I would be like, I would look at all these people, their faces, like they're like so unhappy, right? Like, why the fuck you do this? Like, I mean, obviously, and it's fascinating, and it's fascinating that that journey to like to move away from it, right? It's
You're,
not like, you know,
yes,
it's like I know I'm interrupting you. I'm just so passionate about it, and you're passionate. Like,
yeah, yeah. No,
man,
but like you were saying, like it's a bad cycle. You just are around people complaining.
yeah.
You're like, I mean, I remember I was in the company. I loved the company. I loved the products that they made, and still I'd be talking to other reps that were doing the same job I was, and they were just like, I never was complaining because I did enjoy it, but like people would just be complaining about their daily tasks that they had to do. Like, and I'm like, you don't have to do this. Like, nobody's holding a gun to your head. Like, but
Yeah.
the comfortability of that paycheck every Friday or every other Friday is just a problem. It's a problem that gets people stuck for their entire,
Mm.
and they get stuck in this grind where they think like this is it. And then, like, for me, I got like, oh, it was a switch that like was made not in my decision. So I needed to adapt. And now I'm in an environment where, I get to communicate with you, people that have been super successful and more success than some people will ever see in their entire life in just a few short years. And the coaches, and then even the people within the program, whether they're doing better than me, whether they're doing just as much, the same kind of level as far as the metrics per day, or they're just starting out. It's all people that are just super hungry. We mentioned it last time. I'm 34 years old. We're like dinosaurs in this. It's super motivating for me. You could take it either way, but I use it as motivation when I'm see a 21-year-old kid or a 22-year-old kid, making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on
Yeah.
a Shopify store, on an e-commerce brand, and it's super motivating. And I just always have had the mindset where, like, if somebody can do something, why can't I? And that's kind of what's gotten me through this last 10 months.
Man, and it's like I think that the kind of like the lesson there too is that like initial 6 months, 12 months at anything, they suck. Like, and they hard. Like, whatever you do, right? Like, if you do and especially, let's say you have some other responsibilities on the side, right? Like, I mean, it's hard. It's like, and that's, if you think about it, that's most of the cases, like the reason why people don't do anything, because like that pain, like even right now, like in our business, I mean, our business is relatively successful. I mean, it's not level of success that I'm always striving for more, but it's like there's always something, there's always something, there's always some pains, like there's always some like associated, obviously with growing the business, right? Like, people, like ads, getting rejected, ads getting like, and so but you overcome it, right? You become better, you make more money, right? So there is a good side on the other kind of like side of this, right? But at the same time, there is just so much pain that, like, it's like most people just like, fuck it, I'll just kind of like coast, like safely, like this way, like
Yep.
whatever, like, yeah, it's like, yeah, it's bad, but maybe it's like it could be worse, right? And what if I try the business and it fails, right? And then all of the family will say, hey, I fucking told you, like, it's
100%.
literally, it's literally.
That's what help all the past, the money that I lost, the time that I lost, the friends that were like, I told you, just another one of those things. Thank God friends, but every once in a while, I got a small circle. They don't say that, but like, they're always rooting for me. But you get those people, just like you said, even family, cousins, it's always like, oh, you're scared of that. I told you so. Now for me, I've had 4 or 5 of those instances where I knew that this time I was going to push past that first 6 months, that first 3 months, and get past the point of it actually kind of, like being at the point where, like, all right, I could just quit now, lost a couple $1,000s in ads and move on. But realistically, I know that if I push through, I'm close. Like, I'm
Yeah.
going to make it work. And again, just like you said, like, there's different types of pain. No matter how successful you are,
Hmm.
another level of pain. Like, I, had 9 product tests that failed. That sucked every day, But then now the product that I'm running that's doing super well, 20, 30 orders a day. Now the pain is getting customer service emails asking me where my orders, where's the orders? Experience that level of pain because it was 1 or 2 orders that I would get, not 20 orders a day, where now
Hmm.
crap, like, oh my God, I didn't know I was going to get 2 or 3 emails every few hours of like, hey, where's my order? Hey, where's my order? Hey, where's my order? That level of pain now. And I'm sure once I get to 10K a day, that there's going to be even more pain. And
Yeah.
when I put people on to help me, and now I got to manage a couple people
Yeah.
that are ads or some administrative stuff and keeping track, and then it's just like you said, a different level of pain, and it never stops. And I'm assuming somebody on your level, the pain is even harder to deal with because it's more pain, it's more people, it's more money. It just gets harder and harder. But the thing is, it's a fun ride. It's you got to enjoy the journey. It's cliche,
Yeah.
but it's great.
Man, I think that's the key, right? Like finding a way to where you don't see these challenges as like, so I come from the environment where like, if like Soviet Union kind of stuff, like where if you fuck up, like, I mean, you're getting like so much,
It's serious, not a slap
right?
on.
You know what I mean? Like people, fuck, it's like, and so and teachers in school, it's very like, it's either like you do it this way, like everyone needs to be the same, it's like very kind of like you know, um, like dictator kind of shit, right? So coming from that environment, like you're afraid to make mistakes, right? And how did you overcome? How did you overcome that, right? Like, how did you have any of that? Like, where it's like, should I take this risk, right? Should I just like, okay, like even like sales career, you said, okay, you have the skill sets, right? You could probably get a job, like get paid like really well, right? Because you have the skill set, you have the experience, and like, why not? Like, like did you have that like kind of like consideration? And it's like, what is it on the back of your mind? Like kind of, or
Oh, I definitely, I mean, listen, I was taking a huge risk. I told my wife that we were going to use our savings that we had for the bills and to support our family while I figure out a new endeavor that I
hmm,
never ever. I have zero e-commerce experience before
wow.
January of 2023, literally 10 months ago. Zero experience. And I told my wife, I'm not getting a job. I am going and I'm going to try this. So I had huge fears. And although I'm again, I'm lucky that I struggled in the past for these little different endeavors. So it made, who I am right now to be able to get through that. But the fear is always there. I mean, listen, I was on the call with one of the coaches from the program 2 days ago, and I still have a fear of being. I literally asked him, I'm like, I've never had a winning product before. This is going super well. Is this going to stop? Like, is this just can tomorrow this just stop? Or like, can I invest a little bit of money in the product? Invest a little bit in ads now, and the fear is still there. Again, it's like
Hmm.
it'll get to another level of fear. I think it was, I'm very lucky. I didn't grow up in an environment like you did. I had two wonderful parents that have supported me since the day I was born. Middle class family, not a crazy amount of money, but also lived in a nice house, and they were always super supportive. And I mean, still to this day, my mom's asking me now, like, how many sales? How many sales? Because she's upstairs watching my two girls, and she is always asking like, hey, how many sales did you get today? How many sales? So like, I've always had that supportive background and family that were basically, no matter what I did, they will support me. So like, in a sense, it was easy to get over the fear, but having failed in the past
Hmm.
creeps up. And I mean, still, like as we're sitting here, it still creeps up. Like,
Yeah.
this can end tomorrow. Like, you still need to work. You need to test more products. You need, you can't just rely on one product, especially in the beginning when you're learning. But all those 9 failed tests have got me to the point where I've learned so much that 10th product. Now I don't think it'll take me 9 products to find another one.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know probably better than I do. You're not going to have a winning product every single time you test the product.
Yeah.
You get better and more efficient at testing products. I was spending $400 or $500 a product test. Now, with the program and what you guys practice and preach, you can test a product for $100, $150. You don't need to waste $500. Waste $1,000 on a product test. You get more efficient with your money.
Man, I think it's kind of like what kind of throughout this whole conversation that we have today and we had the last time, it's just reinforces that it's like everything. You go to the gym, right? Like first, like workouts will probably be shit, like will be hard, right? And will be challenging, right? Especially if you're overweight and you come to the gym and people looking at you like another guy, right? Another overweight guy. And so, and it's the same here. But what's important is that, project, like if I think most of the problems in life can be solved by just looking at things from different like time horizons, right? Jeff Bezos, I don't know if you know this, like it's regret minimization framework, right?
I haven't heard of it.
It's basically when he was starting, he was doing, he had kind of similar like situation as you. It's like basically he was doing very well working for a hedge fund or private equity firm in New York. He was making hundreds of thousands of dollars, so like $500,000 or like good amount of money, like crazy good, like for most people like standards, like crazy good, right? And so, but he decided to quit that and start Amazon, right? So crazy kind of decisions. Like, why the fuck you would do that? Like, why would you like? Like even like working at that job for like 10 years, like saving, like investing, like I don't know, fucking S&P 500, like you could probably retire like in 10, 20 years, like done. You don't need to work anymore. But he took the risk of starting Amazon, and now it's a fucking reason why we're shopping so easily.
Yep.
It's a fucking reason now. Like now you go with stock leaks, right? Man, like, come on. Like, you know what I mean? It's like because the guy decided to take the leap of faith and just like go after it. And it's like obviously it's a big scale, right? He's outlier of the outliers, and there have probably been like many people who tried to start Amazon or beat Amazon and have failed, right? That's fine, right? But like if everyone's projecting their life goals, right? We live once. I don't know. Maybe we kind of like reborn in another body or something. I don't know. It's like I it's not philosophical conversation, but like imagine, right? You live, right, and you want to do something, and like it bugs you from the inside. Like you said, like you always want to run your own business, right? And you know that inside, right? And you kind of like suppressing that desire, right? So you're going against your own nature.
Yep.
Like how, what's like worse, like failing, like after following your own nature, right? And following what your gut is telling you to fucking do.
Yep.
Or like you're like 80 years old, right? So that Jeff Bezos like framework, he's like, if I'm 80 years old, will I regret more like quitting my job that I had here, right? Or I'll regret more like not starting the company that I think will change fucking my life and like many people's life, right? And so, and he decided to take, and also first like few years been shit. Like first, it's for at least like first few months, there was a movie, I don't know if you watched it. Man, it's like, I don't know. It's like, at the end of the day, it's not for everyone, right? But if people watching this, if you guys watching this, Instagram, hello. If you're watching this and you feel like shit, it's like there's something more than what I do now. There's something more, like, doesn't have to be e-commerce. This conversation about e-commerce, like, doesn't fucking matter what that is, right? I don't know. You want to fucking dance? Just go fucking dance. It's like, it's like, you don't want to be like 80 years old, like person. It's like, fuck, 60 years ago, I should have fucking danced, And like, I think that's such a big, like, such a big paradigm shift, for most people, man.
It goes back to like the timeline too. Like you were saying, I don't think that Jeff Bezos quit his job making probably $500 million a year, whatever it was, to like get rich the next year and retire. He probably had a 10 20, 30-year plan. And like Alex Hormozy talks about this a lot, the amount that you can accomplish in 10 years is so ridiculous that you can't really comprehend it, that you try to put all that work into a year.
Mm.
And then when you fail in a year, you're done. But meanwhile, if you just started knowing that you were going to work for the next 10 years on this one project, and now, me, it might not be the brand that I'm starting right now, but I know that it's going to be e-commerce, and skills that I'm learning, whether it's, ads and branding and marketing and all that stuff. But having a 10-year horizon of what it's going to look like, I think that is one of the biggest problems coming into the e-commerce space, and why people fail is because you think, after hearing either, your story or, some big guys or even students, that like, oh, I'm going to make $100,000 a month, or I'm going to make $1 million a month. I'm going to make $1 million a day. And it's like, they expect it to happen next month after just joining the program and learning. But it takes time. It takes work. It takes a lot of energy to just be able to learn the ins and outs of each little step. But the problem, like the real like problem of that is that you could sustain it, then you will 100% be able to make this work. And as long as you have that mindset and not that get rich, I'm going to just jump in, sell a ton of products and be done with it, then you 100% will be able to make it work. But you have to change that mindset. It's funny. I have a fortune cookie, the thing on the inside, and every single day, and it says
is that from Panda Express or no?
No, little local spot, but it literally says no problem can stand the assault of sustained thinking. And I think I look at it every single day, because you are going to come up to a ton of problems, especially when you're the one creating all the landing pages, creating all the ads, creating the website, dealing with little stupid things that you're not expecting with Shopify and PayPal, like every single dollar right now matters to me. And PayPal decides that after I made $15,000 in sales, that they were going to lock up every dollar after that for the rest of the month. Like, what? What are you talking about? How am I supposed to buy my product to sell to the customers that you're taking 4% of every sale for? Like, you're making money. How are you going to lock up my money? So it's like these little problems, goes back to the little problems, but like, if you can just sustain the problem after problem and let it build and the momentum build, and you a month or a week that you think you're going to get rich to a year, give it 1 year and don't change course every single day, 1 year. And I guarantee you, looking back a year from, today to where you were a year ago, if you do that, will be different. But nothing, another influencer quote, nothing changes if nothing changes. If you just keep doing the same thing, and that was the cycle I was in. I'm going to get rich quick. This is the new thing. I'm going to get rich quick. This is the new thing. And once my mindset changed to where it's like, I want to build something, that is when now I'm starting to see a little bit of success. And again, I'm nowhere near where I want to be. I got a lot of ways to go before I catch up to you. But just know I'm going to be nipping at those heels every day, and I'm going to be hustling to try and get there. And it's you got to use it as motivation, not jealousy.
My man. And it's like, when you think about it, like we'll go into like more like tactical stuff in a second. But I think, that's why I wanted to dedicate so much time for the mindset, like in the first place, really, because if you think about it, like what percentage of businesses ever, like I was reading somewhere, I think only 4% of businesses ever get to like $1 million in revenue or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's a very low number.
It's, if you think about it, I mean, what's $1 million? $1 million is like not a lot. It's like, if you think about it, like let's say you're selling like a product that's like, I don't know, let's say $50, right? So $50, like over the course of the year, like you would sell how many? Like 20,000 products, 20,000 orders.
Yeah, it's something. It's not anything too crazy. Yeah, 20,000 orders.
20,000. If you divide 20,000 by 365, how much is that? You have you have your like magic calculator there.
55.
55. So
Yep.
55 orders a day, basically. 55 orders a day, and you made like $1 million in revenue.
It's crazy because that just got me excited because now I'm thinking, I'm like, I'm not that far off.
Yes, and that's why I'm thinking that too. Like you know, you're like what, 20, 30
5
orders a day.
a day consistently. So
Yeah,
it's, I think it's literally just getting to that point and doing that little bit of math, but it's exciting. That just got me so jacked up, even just thinking about that, doing that quick math.
I do that for myself too, you know. So we want to get to this, like we are here, we want to get to here. I know, like, and I'm kind of like starting to reverse engineer. It also gets me excited because you simplify the numbers, and it's not that, oh, we're like halfway there. Like, oh, we have to improve this number here a little bit. We have to improve this number here a little bit, this number here a little bit, and we achieve the goal.
Yep.
And so like with that being said, like, so only 4% of businesses ever, like, fuck. I mean, literally, you're sitting on a vehicle right now. Like, so e-commerce, right? Again, guys, I mean, there's other business models, there's service businesses, there's like, I mean, you can be like a personal trainer. Like, I mean, I don't know how that scales, but like, you know, let's say you're in e-commerce, right? I understand e-commerce. I can talk about e-commerce. Think I'm qualified to talk about fucking e-commerce. And so e-commerce is a great fucking vehicle to get $1 million. Like,
100%.
it's not like 55. I mean, if you figure out how to make one order profitably, you figure out how to make 5 orders profitably, 10 orders profitably, right? And with every order, like, you learning something, you improving, you collecting the skill set. Like, in 1 year, if you committed yourself to it, like, there's no fucking way that you won't be you won't be at least like close to hitting that.
100%.
Like, if you just committed yourself to it, if you're committing to become like a student and like learning the game and becoming like good at that particular skill. And so if you take that perspective, then I mean, you become like top 4% of all businesses. Now the question is like 96% of businesses, right? Like, let's say you want to do like a restaurant. You want to do like a restaurant, like, or you want to do, let's say a restaurant, right? And you want to do like $1 million with a restaurant. There's a lot more variables. Like, like, I mean, the food has to be on point. Like, first of all, the location. You have to invest in location, branding, advertising, staff, right? The fucking renovations inside. Yeah, the food, right? Like, the food you have to cook. It has to be cooked perfectly every single time. So many fucking variables. Like, if you think about it, you're sitting at home, right? Your family's upstairs, right? I'm working 10 minutes from my office. Like, it's a warm office here. It's not cold. I mean, unless I want to kind of like, you know, be more productive, I make it 68 here. And it's fucking, what else do you need? What the fuck else do you need? Like, I'm clicking fucking buttons.
Yep.
I'm clicking fucking buttons. Like, think about it. Like, people 100 years ago had to like, if I wanted to sell stuff to you, Tommy, I had to get my ass on the fucking train. I had to go to New York City. Hey, Tommy, I have this product. Let's make a fucking deal.
Yep.
Here's a product. Give me the money, right? And you look at the product. Okay, it's okay, Alex. I give you half. Okay, fuck it. Yeah, it's okay. We negotiate, right? And like we have a deal. Shit, I mean, you clicking a few buttons and I can sell you something. You can sell me something with few fucking clicking buttons. Like what the fuck else do you need? Like, what else do you fucking need?
Yep.
What fucking else do you need? Like, what tools do you need? Like, Shopify is $1.
Yeah.
Man, like, come on. Like, what the fuck?
This
Seriously.
has to be, especially with the way that you guys teach it. I mean, this has to be the easiest way to start a very lucrative business with the least amount of money possible. I mean, I've started a retail business and I lost a lot of money. 10, 20, 30 times what I've spent in the last 10 months, I spent in the first 3 months of opening a retail business. And you could do it in basically like $0. Like, it's so inexpensive to start an e-commerce business.
I think, you know what's the problem is? I think the real fucking problem is people don't know what's fucking bad. What bad is, right? Because if you don't know what's fucking bad is, like, you don't know what fucking good is, right? Because if you lived before the fucking internet, if you had to like mail your stuff, right? If you had to like, I don't know, do like a cold calls, like just to collect money from customers. Like Stripe, fucking few clicks, right? You
Yep.
collect the money. Like Shopify, you collect money. Like you had to travel, like, okay, 100 years, projected 200 years ago. You had to get your ass across the ocean, right? Like on a fucking boat. Like you couldn't just like, hey, I want to sell something like in the United States. Like you had to get your ass across the ocean, or I want to sell something in Europe. We have people in our community, selling in Europe.
Yep.
Their ass is in the United States. Like, it's like, what else? What the fucking else? And so I think we're like, if you just really fucking think about it, if you just like distract yourself from fucking Instagram and like, yeah, like I'm looking, all of these guys, they all have fucking Lambos, like, and they all fucking like, they all living life. Of course, there's people like, and a lot of those people are like, there's some good players, some bad players, right? A lot of those people have put in the work to get where they are. But like you watching this, guys, like shit. I mean, like give it 1 year. I'm not saying like dedicate 20 years. I mean, it's very big time horizon. Many things can change. The technology will probably change, but dedicate 1 fucking year of your life to building something that you really fucking want. Man, like what the fuck?
Yeah. It's definitely like you said, you don't know how good you have it until you experience some of the bad.
Yeah.
And, that's again for me coming from experience with some of the money that I've lost in the past, and now seeing how little money it took to do this. Again, every dollar that I've done has been out of the savings of my family, and I knew every penny would be taking that away and getting less and less of a safety net before I had to go get a real job. And that was definitely a good motivator.
Accelerator. But I mean, everyone needs like a kick, right? Everyone needs a kick. Like everyone needs like some kind of like accountability. Everyone needs like a specific deadline, especially like entrepreneurial, like creative people. We all need like a deadline. We perform very well oftentimes like when our backs are against the wall. And man, I'm just really like, as I'm thinking about this, like thinking about what you have done. Again, like you're not like, I mean, I see you like doing like millions of dollars a year minimum, right? Like with the skill set, with the dedication that you put in, you're learning, you're advancing every day, like you have a open mindset, like you're learning, you're applying. So there's no fucking way that you won't be doing like millions of dollars, right? Okay, it takes 2 years.
Yep.
Fuck it. So fuck it. Like, okay, it takes 2 years. Like, I mean, you build the fucking business, you decide to sell it again for millions of dollars. Like in a few years, you accelerated yourself. You accelerated your life, right? You accelerated
10 years that I was working for the company.
Yeah, man. It's like maybe short term is hard, right? So if you start projecting that more like a long-term vision for your life, guys, like shit. I mean, so many things are possible if you just like commit yourself, commit your time, commit your effort, your energy, being in the right community. Like again, I'm obviously, I'm a fan of our community, like what we have built, like then the environment that we have created that kind of like accelerates that success. But you don't have to be in our community to succeed. It just probably will help you a lot to succeed faster. But it's like, man, fuck. I'm excited for everyone who fucking listens to this call. And actually, I'm here, like I'm seeing you Instagram. I'm seeing you. You cannot see me. That's how it works. So, yeah, someone listening to this, taking action, start like fucking implementing, learning, joining the community or something to accelerate that success if they want the accelerated learning and implementation and some feedback loops. I think that's important. Like you don't learn to drive by yourself, right? It's like, I mean, there would be so many. Imagine how many fucking accidents would there be? Like, hey, here's a fucking car, right? Like you're learning how to drive. And so here's a fucking car. The instructor tells you, like, hey, just take the fucking car. Like you drive there around, and I'll be on the phone. I'll be kind of like telling you what to do. No, the motherfucker is sitting next to you, and he's pushing the like, hey, if you're making a mistake, hey, stop.
Yep.
Don't do it.
That little pedal on his
right?
side.
Yeah.
Little safety.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's like, oh, okay, maybe there's something to it.
Yep.
Maybe that's how like we kind of like. I mean, we have accidents on the road, but it's an uncontrollable. Like it's a very tiny percentage, right? Maybe because of that. Maybe because there's a consistent, structured learning process that everyone goes through, alongside with somebody who's actually fucking done it, that maximizes the chances of people actually fucking driving safely. Okay, maybe there's something to it. Like,
100%.
oh man. So okay, let's go into tactical. So we had a question here. What strategy do you use to test for a $50 product? Okay, so let's break it down. Let's say you have a product, you want to test it, how you do it, like what elements, what KPIs, what metrics you're looking at to see if the product is a has potential or not.
Yeah, I mean, for me, so basically, I have tested products anywhere from $24.99 all the way up to $120 products. And they've pretty much all been the same sort of product test. But I would say the difference is once you get into like the $70 to $120 range, $70 to $100 range is where the $100 that you would test a product for the day for like a $30 or $40 product, because right now, right, 30, $40, you're not really thinking too much into the purchase as the buyer. You're thinking like, oh man, do I really, like, $30, $40, you kind of, nowadays we are just clicking saying send it to me and thank you. And but once you get into the 70, even $50 maybe, depending on your financial situation, 50, 70, $100, maybe it's going to take 100 to 150 to maybe $200-$300 to test, to really get an audience. But basically, you want to make sure that you really are testing an angle. So one of the things that I really learned from you guys is testing angles. And knowing that, like, so again, I use this a lot because I use it, and it's a failed product test, so I don't mind mentioning it. But like the ice baths, we talked about it last time.
Yeah.
Right? So an ice bath, $120. You can sell it to athletes for recovery, to somebody suffering from depression, because it boosts the mood, the dopamine, everything coming out of it. You could sell it to somebody that's looking to ramp up their morning routine, where they need a way to wake up in the morning, like angles. And each one of those customers, you need to understand, like, why is that customer going to buy it? If it's an athlete, you might have to pitch to them, like, talk about their sore knees, or a runner. You could even go down to athlete, runner, athlete, golfer, right? You're walking the course. Athletes, golfers don't go through too much pain, but listen, I suffer from lower back pain. I suffer, my legs are sore when I get off the golf course if I'm walking 18 holes. So like you're worried about those different angles. And maybe you can talk to this a little bit more, but like for me, I would just test one angle at a time. Like I would really go all in on one angle that I thought was going to sell the best. If it didn't work and I actually really believed in the product, then I would maybe test one more. So like $100 on one angle. And then if I to go into it again, maybe another $50 to $100 on another angle. And then I would, kind of go from there.
My man, like, such a good point. And I actually want to show people something, because I think this will be like who here, I mean, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, tell me, like, who's familiar with Pour vacuum cleaner product? Pour vacuum cleaner. Are you familiar with Pour vacuum cleaner, Tommy?
No.
No? Okay. Yeah, you probably I think it's a days of maybe 2019, 2020. Pour vacuum cleaner. Hello, team. Are you familiar with that product? Pour vacuum cleaner. Anyways, it used to be like one of the most ripped, one of the most used, abused products in e-commerce. Pasha here. It used to be like many people like would just use the pour vacuum cleaner. It's skincare product, right? And so what happened is people would use it, abuse it, obviously steal each other content, and that's how the game was. Now it's a year 2023, right? And you're like, okay, all right, it's a poor vacuum cleaner, right? I mean, who needs a product? Product is saturated, 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 right? Okay, all right, saturated, then it is, right? And then you look at this. I'll share my screen, and you're thinking, is it really fucking saturated? I don't know if you can see my screen here, right?
Oh, I got you. The pores on your face.
Yeah. It's like poor vacuum cleaners, basically, like, and you can see the poor vacuum cleaner, right? And so this is the fucking product, right? The product has been like around for a long time. And now the angle here, right, is like, you can see like why I don't use cleansers on black hats, right? Nothing about the poor vacuum cleaner product, right? But starts at not totally another like topic, right? Like another like product. Cleansers, like what the fuck cleansers have to do with this product? But then it pretty much sells why cleansers don't work, and you have to use something that is actually like a device, like that sucks in all of that bad stuff from your skin. And so now, how many years fucking later, this store comes in and sells this product, right? For, you see the price point here. The price point here is like $89, right? Most people would sell this product for like, I remember, I mean, I know a lot of people who've been selling this product like $20, $30. Oh, it's like, oh, Alex, should increase the price. Should increase the price from like $24.99 to $29.99. I'm like, fuck, my conversion will probably fucking drop. I'm like, shit. I mean, maybe just figure out how to sell it at 89. Like, I mean, at more expensive price. I didn't tell them exact price point. Like more expensive price points. Maybe you figure out. Maybe you just learn how to be better marketer. Maybe you become a student of the game and learn from the best and learn like how to sell these products with higher profit margins.
Yep.
And these people are, boom, go execute, right? Like, and it's like you look at it and you like, fuck, right? It's like, and so and actually one of the things like I wanted to show you, that's okay. Look at this, right? I don't know if can you, not sharing here. I'll share. It's just crazy, man. Like, and it's not about it. It's not even like about like the, as you said, like the angle is so important. That's what you have to put like majority of your just like thought process, bright energy, right? Like, how do you sell the product? So why teenage kids get blackheads even with good skincare, right? Man, like, it's not selling to people. It's not selling to like 30 years old, right? Like 40 years old for them, but it's selling for their kids. It's totally another angle. So like, as you said, with that ice bath, right? You could sell that ice bath to the athletes, right? That want faster recovery. Hey, I mean, fuck. All of the, I mean, my trainer, my personal trainer, he's a fucking he used to be in football, like he's a big guy, American football, and he's like, I'm like, do you use like ice baths? I mean, he's like, shit, I mean, we've used the fucking ice baths every single fucking time after the fucking training. There's no oh, okay. Is that a good angle? Yeah. Like, maybe you find like a high school kind of like, football player, make him like a face, right? Like of the brand, right? Demonstrate how they do it after the training. Okay. So maybe if athletes are using that for recovery, maybe I can use that for my ass. Okay. So one angle, right? As you said, like there's multiple other ones that you can utilize, like increase your metabolism, like you know, like there's so many different angles, like that weight loss. You want to lose weight, like here you go, right? Like improve your immune system, like another angle. Older people, younger people. If you're over 65 years old, like this works for people over 65, and you do like cold baths, like you probably will live fucking longer.
100%.
Probably. I mean, it's not like medical claim. I'm not a doctor, but I guess if you put your ass in a cold water, I mean, I guess like your body freaks out and starts like fighting for survival. And I think that will help you to live longer. Yep. I guess, like just logically. And I don't fucking know.
Even diving into that a little bit more of like knowing, you know, how aware, you know, the 5 stages of awareness, right? Like how aware is the customer that you're, so now within that same angle, you could make 2 or 3 different ads to somebody, an athlete that is aware of the benefits of an ice bath. Somebody, I mean, unless you're living under a rock, I mean, I would assume that like has no idea that ice baths even exist.
Yeah.
But also somebody like me who I'm a customer, because again, I literally have an ice bath in my backyard that I go in. I was aware of ice baths, but I was not aware that there was a $150 ice bath. I thought that ice baths were $3,000, $4,000, $5,000.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that I could get one for that price point. So that's also, you know, plays into how you prepare your ads campaign and your ads in general. The actual structure of your ad is, you know, you can use the same footage of somebody getting in and out of an ice bath, but that hook in the beginning, you know, you have 3 different options right there, like I just said.
Yeah.
You know, for different people, you know, for that ice bath, you know, if you're going for that one angle. And then again, if there's 3 different angles, 3 different people that you're going after within each angle, I mean, think about how many opportunities you could test.
Man. You just maximize your chances, like, so like 3 times and then 3 times again, right? Because there's different people, like you just maximize your chances of finding a winner, right?
Yep.
Which I mean a winner, just like it's more like a product market fit. You find a winning angle, right, for a winning audience. There you fucking go. That's your first like 100K. That's your first $100,000 right there. Like you find something that works with a particular market. It's like, you know, you ask people like, oh, who's your ideal customer? It's like, oh, everyone needs my fucking product. Like, shit, I mean, no one needs your product. Like, not everyone needs your product. All we need is like a small segment. It's like, and you have to like obviously identify that through testing. It could be like 37-year like old woman that had like a, I don't know, like specific like condition, right? That is like very, very particular like avatar, right? That you can identify testing through testing those like different angles. And I mean, just quick hack for everyone listening is go to fucking Amazon. Like, I mean, you have all of the angles there. You have like find a product that has similar reviews. Find why people bought those products. What have been the alternative products to solve the X problem that you're solving that have failed for them? They usually say, oh, before trying this like poor vacuum cleaner, I tried all the fucking cleansers. I've tried like, I tried putting my face in hot water, in the cold water. I tried like hitting my head against the wall. Hopefully those pores like will clean up themselves. Like I tried like, I don't know, pouring some, I don't know, whatever, like on my skin. And none of this worked before I tried this product. So now you have so many ideas for the angles, for the hooks, right? Now you see more or less who's buying your product. Now you have so much material for testing these angles, as you said, Tommy, like to maximize your fucking chances. Like, don't do just like one variable. Don't do one like, oh, I tested one ad and it didn't work out. The product failed. Product saturated. Fuck me, it's not.
Yep.
Fuck me, it's not. It's like, obviously, it's like if there is a validated, that's why I like to go after, I don't know, you tell me your perspective, tell me, after products that have been validated, right? And that have validated demand, right? They might have like a different design from the previous, but the problem that you're solving needs to be like evergreen, ideally, right? And the problem needs to be like established for a long time. You cannot be the one like, hey, you maybe didn't know, but you have this problem. People already need to know more or less that they have a problem. Here's a fucking solution. Here's how this solution better than any other fucking solution they tried.
Yeah, I think that is like a completely different ball game that I can't speak on, of like, if you've created a product and are bringing it to market, like, that's like a whole different ball game than, what we are doing. We're looking for products, problems, pain, right? We've been talking about pain, the different
Yeah.
types of, but like actual physical pain is another angle of, a very good lucrative angle for a lot of products. A lot of people live with physical pain. If you can help them get rid of that pain, I mean, that's the thing. When you validate a product, it sounds like, you're just trying to find a product, but like, you need to find a product that works. Like,
Yeah.
you can't just sell, because again, yeah, you might make, I mean, I think it was a little bit easier probably 4 or 5 years ago, and now it's harder. You might make 50 grand, you might make 10, 15, 20 grand, but like, where you teach us, and we want to find a product, like you said, evergreen, that
Yeah.
you sell for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And there's not a cycle that it's
Yeah.
going to, and unless something crazy happens,
Yeah.
wipes you out. But like, you want to look
And,
for a
and
product.
it's like such a good point you brought, Tommy. Like, for instance, right, there's this company called Manscaped, right? You've probably seen their ads. I mean, probably everyone has seen their ads, especially like in the United States, right? So now think about it, right? I mean, and I'm telling you, I mean, we sold this fucking same product that does exactly the same fucking thing around the same time that they've been fucking selling it, right?
Yep.
And they have built like a 9-figure fucking brand. I mean, it's actually a $1 billion company, and we haven't. Why? Because they kept building on that same model, right? Like, now the product is 5.0. We tried to sell like 1.0, right? And we're like, it was like 2018 or so. And you're like, oh, we probably saturated the market, right? So the mistakes that I'm sharing with you guys, like the mistakes that I have made, right? It's not like I'm fucking, yeah, it's like, don't do this mistake. Like, I'm like fucking theory, like in university. That's the fucking mistakes that I made.
Yep.
And I don't want you to make the same fucking mistake. If you have a winning product, right? We have a product with product market fit. That's a better definition. Then if you have that, just keep building on that shit. Just introduce like a better version of your product. Improve few features. Like, I mean, they just keep improving the design. They keep improving, like, okay, these blades, I mean, if they cut your balls, I mean, okay, we'll just improve them, right? Like, so they don't cut your, like, okay, we'll introduce better blades, we'll introduce that better design, better buttons, right? So that's like, it's better kind of like suited for the purpose, right? And then you have all of the other elements, and they bundling products, and they introducing new products and new SKUs, but they keep building on that brand. So if you think about it from that perspective, right? What was the initial point? The initial point was just one product. The initial point that like first 100K, like the topic of this call, fucking like that's all you need. Like, that's how that brand started. It started from one product. Maybe they dropship it at the beginning. They dropshipped, but they decided to commit to it. And 5 years later, they have $1 billion company. Like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Man, like, and that's why, like, with your mindset, I do believe you'll be fucking making millions. Like, you're so relentless. As long as you continue building, and you continue building on that success, you'll have tremendous success, and I'll simply won't let you do otherwise. So yeah. I'll keep you accountable. So, guys, I mean, like, fuck, this is all you need. Like, you need the product market fit. You need to test different angles. You need to understand who you're selling to, right? And test more variables at the beginning to find a product market fit, and then just scale it. That's your first 100K. And yeah, I mean, Tommy, thank you so much for joining me.
No problem.
Tommy's a legend. Like, Tommy's, you want to connect with him, we'll drop your info somewhere. But he's in our community, Brand Builders Academy. You want to join? Great people, great community, like support to help you succeed. And yeah, we are here for you. Just DM me. If you're on Instagram, just DM me BBA. And other than that, I mean, I don't give a fuck, if you join. I mean, you will do like yourself more service than me. Like, I don't do it for money. Like, it's like, for me, it's like a game of like how we can help the most people possible, right? The best people we can bring on our team, we can grow together, we can partner up, we can scale together. So if you're interested in that, Instagram, please DM me BBA. Tommy, thank you so much for joining me, oh man. It's been tremendous conversation. I know I talk too much. Sorry about that, but I'm just so passionate about this shit, man.
It's tough when you get two people that talk a lot together.
Right? We'll do separate calls. You have your call, I have mine. We'll have like our own territory.
Always fun jumping on a call with you.
My man, you're a legend, and yeah, let's keep building. Guys, thank you so much for joining. Keep building. I mean, you can do a lot more than you fucking think, and if you need someone to remind you that every single fucking day, then yeah, join our community. We'll be fucking reminding you, and we'll be helping you out to grow. And Tommy, legend, my man. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. I'll see you next time.
Appreciate it.